From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
American Door Company has been family-owned and operated for over 29 years, supplying Northern California with quality garage doors, garage door openers, and installed with the best service you'd expect from a locally owned company. We serve all of Northern California from Willows all the way up to the Oregon state line. Give us a call today.
Well, of course, the heat is almost here. We're going to get one more day where temperatures are going to be right around normal for this time of the year, but then some bigger heat heading our way. Here's a look at the Redding sky cam here. Of course, you've got the Sundial Bridge here. You've got the sunny skies, and of course, that heat eventually making its way here. In fact, it'll peak over the weekend. We've got possible record-breaking heat, if not at least tying some records, and it'll be close. But I don't expect to shatter any records, so we can at least be grateful for that, right? But next week, not as hot. I think temperatures are going to start to drop. Look at this map. I mean, we got a lot of colors on here, a lot of oranges and reds. So what we've seen here develop over the last 12 hours or so is now you can see the interior parts of northern Humboldt County are part of this advisory. So places like Hoopa, Willow Creek, for example, are part of the heat advisory. Not to mention in Siskiyou County, Modoc, Eastern Mountains, and last in Eastern Plumas County. That's the heat advisory basically for this weekend. All of these areas in red is where we have an excessive heat warning. Now it's the valley, the surrounding foothills, and even the mountains, including Trinity County. Again, this is also basically for the weekend, although the heat will be here as early as Friday. So we have these excessive heat watches and warnings and all that good stuff, right? What does it all mean? Well, a heat advisory is issued within 12 hours, and when the heat index will be 100 degrees plus for at least 2 days. Now, I say the heat index because this is a national scale. So think of it more along the lines of when the temperature is expected to be 100 degrees plus, and there'll be that heat advisory, and it's expected to be for 2 days or more. Now, there's an excessive heat watch issued within 24 to 72 hours when the risk of a heat wave increases, but the timing is still fairly uncertain. And then an excessive heat warning is issued within 12 hours, and when the heat index, or the temperature in our case, is 105 degrees plus for at least 2 days. So we're well within that category. Of course, not necessarily for your Thursday, but you can see temperatures are going to be hovering around that 100 degree mark, give or take. Redding 101, as well as Red Bluff. Chico, a high of about 99 degrees. For the mountains, of course, not in the triple digits, but in the 90s. 89 degrees for Alturas, 93 for Etna, 92 for Mount Shasta City. Susanville, 93, and Paradise, a high of about 93 degrees. All right, so we take a look at the trend. The average high for Redding is 100 degrees. That's about what we're going to see here for tomorrow. But by the time we get to Friday, through the weekend, 110 degrees plus, with the exception of Friday. I mean, it'd be close. And then 113 on Saturday. Could get a little bit warmer than that in some spots here. And then those temperatures do start to drop for next week. There's that bubble of heat over Southern California now. It's expanding to our region. We'll be here in full force by the weekend. That's when we expect those hottest temperatures. But the good news is that is shifting eastward as we go through next week. And we will be dealing with cooler temperatures, but our friends, our neighbors over the central United States, they'll be dealing with our heat wave. And you're probably going to be hearing about a heat wave for the folks in the central United States going into next week. Also, on top of this, something that has been talked about a whole lot is the monsoon moisture that could be associated with this heat wave. So, as we go into Sunday, the positioning of an area of high pressure right here, the clockwise rotation around that high will take the monsoon moisture, which is typical over the desert southwest this time of the year, and that's plenty of moisture where you see those afternoon thunderstorms. That moisture with that upper level flow will put us right in the path of that moisture coming in. So it'll do a couple of things. Number one, it'll give us higher humidity values, which is going to be it's going to feel more humid than we're used to around here. And number two, it could bring us some thunderstorms. That's for Sunday and quite possibly into Monday as well. All right, so here's what we have in store for us tonight. The heat, not here just yet. Cooling off in the low to mid 60s for the valley, mid to upper 50s for the higher elevations. And for tomorrow, about 100 degrees, give or take, for the valley. 91 degrees for Bernie. It's beginning to warm up a little bit for your Thursday, but it's going to warm up even more so by the time we get into Friday, not to mention this weekend. There's your 7-day forecast for Mount Shasta City. There you can see up to 99 degrees by Friday, about 100 degrees or slightly higher over the weekend. Now for Alturas, about 100 and over 100 degrees for Susanville. And for the Valley, obviously well over 100 degrees by Friday, that is. Temperatures will be in the 100 teens by Saturday, Sunday, at least for Redding and even Red Bluff. And then temperatures start to slowly drop after that. Of course, that's the case for Red Bluff and Chico as well.